Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video, and I'm glad to be back. I didn't really announce this beforehand, but I've been going through a move. We bought a new house. It's very exciting, and this will actually be the first video recorded in my new office. I'm somewhat concerned about the acoustics, but I think we'll make it work. And it's kind of the end of an era. I started the Eckhart's Ladder channel in a small apartment, then we moved to our first house, which has now been sold. It's out of my hands, and now we're here. Kind of interesting. So today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Outlaws. There was a new story trailer. We're going to start off today's video by briefly touching on that. Then we're going to end with an overview of some of the controversy surrounding the game, which I think is fairly legitimate. Well, some of it's legitimate. I'm not going to talk about the main character apparently being ugly or man-like, because that's just dumb. But Ubisoft's pricing and the marketing strategy for this game, definitely worth breaking down. And if you want to skip, I've included timestamps down in the description, so you can skip it back and forth to whatever you want. All right, so the story trailer, and I got to admit, I've got some mixed feelings. Like, there's nothing in particular about this era which really grabs me. Zach, who's one of my associates, he helps me with all my channels, did a breakdown the day it came out. I was so busy, I saw it the next day. But my really big hope and the thing this game has going for it, at least if they've used the potential properly, is interconnectivity. There are lots of stories being told during this time period. And although it's not this woman here, we actually know that Kira of Crimson Dawn and of course Solo will be in the game, which that's pretty cool. When it comes to the criminal underworld, I also hope we see Shizor and Black Sun. I mean, this is in the Shadows of the Empire time period. Obviously, that story is no longer strictly canon. Black Sun was not actually mentioned in the intro, but that very well may have been selective editing, and I'm going to guess there are more than 3 crime syndicates in the galaxy. I will say, graphics-wise, the game looks good. I think when people talk about K-Vest being ugly, I think the issue is more just that the facial animations, when compared to other recently released games, are a bit stiff, as is, I think, a bit of the general setup. Like the whole, one last mission, get out of the underworld, the crime boss is angry at you. Hey, it's a story we've heard before. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but they're going to need to do something pretty interesting off of that point, because obviously it's not just, hey, we'll get in, we'll do this one mission and we'll leave. So where are we going to go from that setup point? Some of the dialogue, I mean, not exactly inspiring. This job is a death wish. I'm in. I mean, all right. What this game really needs to nail for me is the vibe. I want to see different planets. I want to feel like we're in that underworld. One thing I noticed kind of funny is I do see the same Sheathipede ship in 2 of these shots. I think this might be Mos Eisley here. It certainly reminds me of that level in Rogue Squadron for the N64 when you got to destroy the probe droids around it. But yeah, I mean, they're really keeping their cards somewhat close to their chest, so we'll see. One thing I do have to comment on, of course, knowing me, they forgot the balls on the Star Destroyer. In this scene, the Star Destroyer is missing its shield bulbs. I'm guessing that's not due to some story reason. It's probably just a mistake. Funny enough, and I pointed this out on Twitter, this actually happened as well in The Force Unleashed 2 during the Battle of Camino. The balls are missing, but whatever. Funny stuff. Let's talk about the controversy. So the trailer even ends with a Star Wars Outlaws pre-order spiel. And yes, shocking, this is a Ubisoft game. There's going to be pre-order stuff tied in, but people are really unhappy, and I think for very fair reasons, about what your money is going to get you when it comes to Star Wars Outlaws, especially when, to be honest, the recent Star Wars video games have been pretty consumer friendly, at least the big AAA releases. Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, both seem to learn from Battlefront 2. Star Wars Squadrons was a lot of content for a AA price. And you know, one thing that's really stuck with me when it comes to game reviews, especially in the 2010s and 2020s, it's extremely frustrating when it feels like you are getting less game because of a financial decision. When it feels like the company has done something to take away from fun because they can squeeze more money out of you, and that's definitely what it feels like here. First of all, this isn't a cheap or discounted game. It's $89 Canadian, which that's a lot. But that's just for the standard edition. It comes with, pre-order bonus skins if you buy it before launch, but the gold edition is the one they're really trying to get people to buy. That is $144.99 Canadian before taxes. The standard edition is going to run you $100. The gold edition, it's pretty insane, especially because it feels like the gold edition is the only real way to get the game as it should be at launch, because you'll see you get the season pass, and included in that is the exclusive Jabba's Gambit mission available at launch. So they have content done and ready that you'd think would be included with the base game that's just not, because they figure, hey, we can get another $60 out of folks because Star Wars games don't come around that often. People love the franchise, and they're going to want to play a mission with Jabba the Hutt. I mean, of course, it's Jabba. It's a game in the underworld. It's shitty. It's shitty business practices, and that's not where it stops, because you also get the 3-day early access benefit if you get the Gold Edition. And once again, they're playing on consumer FOMO, the fear of missing out. Are you really going to want to wait 3 days to play the game when everyone and their grandmother is going to be playing it, streaming it on Twitch, posting spoilers online? I mean, it sucks. Personally, I could wait if I wasn't doing this as a full-time job because I'm busy, I've got kids, but 20-year-old me, I'd probably be picking up the Gold Edition. Well, I wouldn't, but we'll talk about that in a moment. The Gold Edition also does come with a season pass, and I do need to clear something up because people are getting confused. They're saying, hey, why is this a full-priced game if it has a paid battle pass? A season pass is not a battle pass. A season pass basically says you're going to get the 2 subsequent DLCs for free. It's not like a battle pass that you can purchase your way through. There's no indication that that's in the game, although I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Most likely, buying the Gold Edition will come out to be cheaper than buying the Standard Edition and the 2 DLCs on their own, but I mean, we've got no idea of what quality the game will be, much less whether the DLCs will be worth whatever price they're charging. Anyway, the next tier, it's the Ultimate Edition. It doesn't come with any physical bonus, which that sucks. If you're spending 170 Canadian dollars on a video game plus tax, you're at $200 and you're not getting anything real. Like, we've lost the plot when it comes to these Ultimate Editions. Like, it's a digital art book that's going to be available online so quickly. It's just, I think it's a waste of money. I understand why people get it. For me, what I'd be going for, and what I probably will go for, is a month of Ubisoft Plus. I am not someone who personally cares about owning every single video game that I play. With Ubisoft Plus, what you'll do is you'll get the service for a month. It's $19.99 Canadian. You'll get this game plus a bunch others. I would maybe be interested in trying like Watch Dogs or Far Cry. Anyway, if you can beat the game in a month, hey, you're good. This will really depend on your play style. Like, I am not somebody who goes back and plays games over and over and over again unless I really love them. Like Dark Souls 1, yes, I want to own that because I'm going to want to play it every, 6 months. Same with Jedi Survivor. Same with Halo. That may be the case with Star Wars Outlaws, but I'm also happy to risk, doing that 1 or 2 month playthrough, and if I ever really want to play it again, it will probably be heavily discounted in the future anyway. Again, I know there are many people who like to own the media that they play. I think that's totally legitimate, and I get it. It's just not me. The other thing that I find extremely frustrating is that as a PC player, I've got to install another most likely dog crap launcher because this will not be on Steam at launch. I'm sure it'll come later. Instead, will be on Ubisoft Connect. Every one of these big game studios wants their own launcher. Even with games like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which are on Steam, you still have to download the EA launcher. It just makes your computer so bloaty. I like having all my games in one place. Steam is the best option that I've found. So now we'll have to make a Ubisoft Connect account. It's nonsense. It definitely makes me want to consider picking the game up on console, but I'm sure you'll also need Ubisoft Connect for that as well. Anyway, the game, I think, has earned the controversy, especially where the trailer looked fine, pretty good, but I don't think there's any indication that this is going to be, the next Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate 3, but we'll see. Let me know, of course, your thoughts down below.